years from now, and I think it will take years, we will discover, and it'll be scientifically validated, that these types of symptoms that people are getting sick and dying from right now, these flu-related type of sicknesses, can be induced by bad air quality, a combination of certain toxins in industrial air pollution, combined with certain frequencies of unending exposure from densification, from such things as 5G wireless. To continue on the discussion on 5G wireless, I want to bring up a report published by the Harvard School of Ethics, which you can get from ethics.harvard.edu. It's called Captured Agency: How the Federal Communications Commission is Dominated by the Industries It Presumably Regulates. And so you can review this on your own. But moving forward on the NEPA review process that we've discussed previously, just want to get into a little more detail of what that encompasses. It comes down to the FCC Rule 1-1307, which basically says that every wireless telecommunications facility that's over 1,000 watts of effective radiated power, which really is every single transmitter that's installed, that is within 10 feet of the ground, and it requires a NEPA review. National Environmental Protection Act, which was passed January 1st, 1970, it requires a environmental assessment and environmental impact statement to be made for every application. And so this is a really basic process that that puts the FCC, it forces the FCC to do their job. And what we know now is that the FCC is not going to do their job. That should have been 10 meters, not 10 feet, of a freestanding, non-building connected transmitter pole. So basically a wireless transmitting facility that is not attached to a building is always going to be within 10 meters of the ground. And it's interesting because some of the legal controversy is coming up over what ground means even. So we'll see how it all plays out. Bottom line is the FCC is not playing by the rules, and neither are the telecoms. The FCC is not policing the telecoms or fining them for violations that they should be doing, and that's why this NEPA strategy is so important. And you can learn more at Scientists for Wired Tech, or from the link, that's scientistsforwiredtech.com, or from the link I'll send you directly to the NEPA strategy page if you follow the link in the description here. That's not what this video is about, though. I want to get into some deeper stuff and really cover some of the things that I've been talking about for like 20 years now, literally. EMF-induced illness, and make some real big connections here because, you know, back when I got into this 20 years ago or so, there was barely a doctor that would even talk to you about EMF-induced illness. And now at least there's a few, you know, and maybe you're one of them. And I encourage you, if you are a physician, get involved in this stuff, because this is a big, important topic that needs to be addressed, because patients are being ignored, and this is such a crazy time we're in right now, obviously, but we need to really focus on what's really going on and not be steered in crazy directions, going on virus hunts and stuff, because this could come down to a chicken and egg scenario. But I predict that years from now, and I think it will take years, we will discover, and it'll be scientifically validated, that these
types of symptoms that people are getting sick and dying from right now, these flu-related type of sicknesses, can be induced by bad air quality, a combination of certain toxins in industrial air pollution combined with certain frequencies of unending exposure from densification from such things as 5G wireless. You know, we'll see what happens, but we've already seen what's going on in this grand experiment in both China, South Korea, and Italy, because those three countries are known full-scale deployments of 5G. They have achieved the densification of 5G wireless transmitters that the telecoms want to achieve everywhere. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to add up what's going on when we know this. 130 plus thousand of the macro and micro cell transmitters in China alone, over 10,000 in Wuhan alone, in many provinces in China where there's huge sickness and huge death rates. These are also lining up with cities where they've got full-scale 5G deployment. For example, Zhejiang province has 3 cities with full-scale 5G deployment, and those 3 cities also have some of the highest rates of this sickness, this unknown sickness going on. These include Hangzhou, Ningbo, and Wenzhou. All 3 of these cities in the Zhejiang province, all with incredibly high rates of this unknown sickness. So Iran is kind of an unknown because we're not an ally of Iran. So we don't know their 5G deployment, but there's suspicion that they are deploying 5G in Iran. But you know, we're not going to know that anytime soon. So that's kind of an anomaly. But at the same time, the cruise ships where we know people were quarantined for weeks on end, a lot of these cruise ships now are loaded with 5G wireless technology. We're talking full-scale 5G technology, satellite connected, so people on the ships can enjoy all the pleasures of wireless connectivity. And this is extreme. This is densified wireless technology and stuff that you can't get away from. That's the point of why this is so damaging, is because it's densified, you can't get away from it. It's like the 5G deployments where the cells are within 100 to 300 meters from each other and stacked throughout the city. That's the kind of thing that your exposure stacks up, and it's the cumulative exposure that is so damaging. We've been talking about this for decades. South Korea, over 75,000 micro and macro cell, small cell antennas in, relating to 5G. And look what's going on there. They're second in line with over 3,000 cases of this unknown sickness. And I say unknown sickness because we can go chase viruses with these tests that are not even confirmed. But again, is this a chicken and egg scenario? Are we hunting for some virus that may proliferate when we have extreme exposure to this densified wireless technology that we have in these particular areas? And time will tell, but it's time to stop this madness. And I urge you to get involved in your local community, because that's where the action has to start. This is a think globally, act locally scenario for sure. So get involved with your city council, get involved with locals in your community, and let's get this stopped, because there's a lot of ways we can stop it. It might seem like this massive force of this huge telecom industry, and it is, but they are not following the rules, and we, the people, need to police them. And now's the time, because we can actually stop them, and it's just a matter of time. The bottom line is that we only have about 10,000 total micro and macro 5G transmitters in the US at this point, in the whole country. If we're already seeing pockets of sickness in areas where these transmitters are densely populated, like Seattle, Los Angeles. Those are two 5G new 5G cities. Let's get up and stop it from spreading much further, because now is a time where we're in a position where we can have leverage against these telecom giants and really do some damage to make them follow these laws that they're not following. So that's why I want to encourage you to get involved and look at these NEPA strategies. This is the National Environmental Protection Act, which was enacted on January 1st, 1970. And this is something that is still in effect, and this is our last bastion of hope to force these telecoms to stop this madness and to start following the rules. And there's also a number of lawsuits against the FCC right now, so that's very hopeful, but all lawsuits take ridiculous amounts of time to settle, and in the meantime, we don't have time to wait. We need to stop these applications from going through on a one by one basis. That's the challenge here with all this. We had Dr. Martin Paul here in Eugene. We hosted him for a talk, and I've got that posted on one of my YouTube channels, and I'll put a link here below on this post so you can check that out as well. But he's been talking about all the different aspects of what our current technology, the 4G technology at the time that he visited us, has been having with cumulative exposure, potentially irreversible damage to both male and female reproductive systems. We're already seeing lowered birth rates in some areas, and fertility is a huge issue already, not surprisingly, even with the previous 4G technology. So we've got big issues already, even with the previous technology. We don't need densified 5G wireless technology in all the cities on this planet, and we will pay dearly in our health if we allow it. So check out Dr. Martin Paul, check out some of the other researchers, CC Doucette, Dr. Deborah Davis. There's so much great information that both on my various channels and on the posts on knowingthetruth.com and healthharmonic.com. You can check all that stuff out and get informed, and let's start to take action in your area. Let me know how I can help you. I encourage you to also check out Scientists for Wired Tech. That's the number 4, scientistsforwiredtech.com. They've got some great resources there on the NEPA strategy, and also a number of other resources as well. Get involved with your local community, and let's do this.